What's going on? How's everybody doing? Um, got some pretty interesting stuff for you here. Waiting on a few people to jump on. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? Send out a few invites. Um, Here in Florida, how many people is getting ready for a hurricane coming? Especially that northern area. I mean, I get the hurricane's already taken a turn and moved up a little higher. I was expecting it to come right through here. Went to the store yesterday to buy water, which for, for luckily I have been stocking up on water anyway, because with the shot mandate that the Biden administration was putting out, I was expecting to lose my job and go to the woods. So I needed some water. So I got a bunch of water anyway. But I was going to go get one or two more cases. And believe it or not, um, the water is actually, hey Lauren, how you doing, girl? Hey, stay tuned. I got some deep stuff. This one might be a little bit of a lengthy one if you can stay on, but man, I got some stuff. And this is for people to go out and research on their own. Please don't take my word for it all the time. But I got some crazy stuff that I want to go over here in just a second. But yeah, I went in to get water and everything was sold out. All the water was gone. All the canned food was gone. A lot of the box food was gone. Milk was pretty much gone. Everything was gone. And I was like, holy crap, this is nuts. It's We're in Florida. It's a hurricane. Hey, Brandy baby, thanks for hopping on. All right, so share this out because I'm going to go over some stuff here. And I know that everybody out there is always talking, right now, the big thing is left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, and gets even more heated about black versus white versus Hispanic, black versus Hispanic, white and Asian, but all this stuff's going on. However, that's not the true fight that's going on right now, and a lot of people are actually most of everybody were being misled by the media. And I want to show something here real quick. Um, yeah, Lauren, that's it. They all come down here and said, "Oh crap, go buy all this water." I saw somebody come out of the store with 3 cartloads of cases of water. I was like, going, "Come on now, other people need water too." But it's crazy. But let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. Now, like the title of this is true. If I'm nowhere near around in the next week or so, I did not take my own life. Did not do that. So when you start seeing who I'm going to be talking about here throughout this, you'll understand why I'm saying that. So something shady happened if you can't find me, if I'm not coming on live or doing any post. Um, Typically, yeah, I buy more than one at a time. But it was all canned food, all box food, milk, everything gone. This Walmart's food was empty. And it was crazy. All right, so let's get here. I want to show you something, and you can take the title at the top of this I'm getting ready to show you, and you can go do your own research on each and every piece of this that I'm getting ready to show you. I do have a lot of notes because I don't have all this stuff memorized, so I am going to be reading stuff, but it's not real long. But I think you're going to find this pretty shocking. All right, this is called the Global Public Private Partnership, okay? Now, when the United States was found, we were found as we the people, right? Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger for everybody to read. There we go, a little bit. We were founded as we the people. We the people elect government officials to make decisions in our best interest to run our country. That is what our country is. We are not a pure democracy. We're a constitutional republic. We choose people to make laws and introduce bills, and that's actually going to benefit us, okay? And that has been the way this country has ran. That is how we became the world dominant power, industry wise, military wise, and everything. Is our leaders actually work for us. Okay. So at the top of this chart here should be we the people. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. Ah, it went away. Crap. Let me see if I can bring that back up. Hold on one second. Sometimes this thing is stupid. But it's supposed to be we the people at the top. And without we the people, we're nothing. Okay, I think that's a little bit better there. Maybe not. Let's see. I still got that thing. So where it says policy subjects at the bottom on this thing, that says we the people. That's society as a whole. Now, we're not talking in this case, we are not talking about the United States only, but I'm going to be referring to the United States a lot. But this is actually the people of the world, okay? Now, like I said, we're talking about the world population here. And we the people that I'm talking about are the normal working citizens, the middle income, the lower income, and a lot of the higher income, but not the elite. Okay. Now, there's 8 billion people in this world right now as of 2022, the last census they did. There are 0 personal trillionaires. Okay. So there is no elite out there that the person is a trillionaire. There are some companies that are trillionaires and things like that, but there's no 0 trillionaires. Now there's 47 million millionaires, 47 million millionaires. Okay. You're like, oh my God, that's a lot of millionaires. Well, when you look at the world population, that makes 0.5% of the population are millionaires. And we do have those extraordinary people that are billionaires, the one with a B. There's 3,311 in the world that are actually, that person is a billionaire. What does that mean for his population? Only 0.00004% of the population is a billionaire. So not even 1% of the population are considered the elite. Okay. Like I said, here in the United States, we were established, and I believe it goes all the way back into history, but we were established as we are the controlling people of the United States. The government works for us. They make choices in our best interest. They govern as we have to work because we have to go to work. We got to pay bills. We got to raise our families. And the government, of course, our country needs money, so we pay the taxes and all that kind of stuff. But we still need a leadership out there. And so we vote in the elected to govern the country in our best interest. We are supposed to control the government. No one is above the law. This is supposed to be policy wide. Now, they should be actually passing the bills that keep coming out here that are the best interest. The global public-private partnership doesn't care. That's the top line up there, that title of that chart. The global private public partnership does not care about we the people. They don't care. And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of stuff here in a minute. Now, one thing about it is God has always established that the common people are supposed to be on top. I mean, take care of the poor, look after the homeless, look after the widowed, and all that it's all through the Bible. And that there was a government that was working in the interest of the people. I mean, go back and you can read the Bible. Look at the judges in those books. He had people that he would call up to render judgment to protect the common person's best interest. And so the judges were there. The kings of Israel, King David, King Solomon. There were kings that were up and down, and they would take, the ones that were following the rules were kept in their leadership position a longer time. The ones who were not following the rules, God kicked them out. He was the establishment. God establishes a free society. Hence, we have free will, okay? We can make the choices that we want to make because that's how he established it. And here in the United States, I 100% believe, because we are a singularity country that nobody has ever done what we did when we became the United States. We established a constitutional republic to where we, the people, are in control, elect our leaders, and our leaders actually work for our benefit. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that those leaders and the population is going to agree on everything on 100%, but in a general sense, all the bills, all the laws, and everything are meant to protect us and our best interests, our country, and everything like that. I mean, that's why we have the laws against burglary, rape, murder, and all that. That's in our best interest as a general public, okay? Some people think that this is too harsh or that punishment is too harsh, but in general, those type of laws and rules actually help everybody. Everybody. Now, the one thing that the United States has done, now this has been happening for years. I'm not talking about the last 2 years, the last 6 years. Right? This has been happening for a long time. The United States messed up when we stopped teaching our children in school civics. And some people are probably get on here and go, what the heck is civics? That's my point exactly. Most people don't remember what civics is, but that's where, as I believe I was in probably sixth grade when we started, but seventh and eighth, I know we were really hitting it and on up. You learned about the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, what was going on that founded our country and the way that we are set up. We the people, okay? We the people. Now, what's going on now is the media and the government, they're teaching and showing and pushing out every which way they can. And this is from the puppet masters, which we'll get to that in a little bit, that these founding documents that made this country so great and that everybody, even right now, enjoys the ability to get somewhere and speak their mind, even though that's getting worse, people's feelings get hurt. But other than that, they're saying and they're pushing out, and they've been pushing out for a long time, that these documents are outdated, that these documents are racially motivated, that these documents, they need to be changed or they're completely need to be eradicated, and we need to form a whole new system in the country. Well, it's funny that the system has been working very well. Nothing's perfect, but the system has been working very well for over 200 and some years, okay? But the one thing about it, if you tell a lie long enough and have enough sources telling the same lie, people will start to believe it, especially when you take away the education that the school system used to give, take away how the country was founded, and then you promote these lies over social media. You get people that want this almighty dollar bill, and they're going to say it too, actresses and actors and everything like that, and people start pushing this stupid propaganda out there. Well, people are going to start believing the fact that, oh, United States Constitution was good in 1776, but it sucks today, daggum racial piece of paper. How is a piece of paper racial? It ain't saying nothing. And if you go in there and look, it says equal rights to all. All. I don't understand why racial is even brought up when you're talking about the Constitution. But thank you, media. See, I would normally have said thank you, Biden and Biden administration. It's not even them. It's not even them. So you watch the media and you'll start seeing that on different areas, the same lie is being told over and over again. And a lot of these actresses and actors and things like that, they're all getting the same story, and they want to be publicized because they themselves think that they are gods, which we'll get into that in a minute too. But that's what they want, is all that attention. But the only way they can get it is agreeing to say, I'm going to, preach this agenda that's going on. And they preach that agenda and everybody starts believing it. Okay. And also, one of the things where the United States allowed some of these extreme groups out there to, really move in and start taking control is this thing called separation of church and state. One of the most biggest misinterpreted words that we have in our history, okay? Separation of church and state. This does now, by the way, this is this is perpetrated by Satan. Just want to say it that way. This is perpetrated by Satan. This is his plan, is to get church out of public view, get Jesus out of public view. So Satan, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you from our country, from the world, and the crap that you're doing. You are no longer welcome in our country. But most of mankind has bowed down to Satan. So I'm going on. Separation of church and state does not mean taking God out of the government, God out of our school, God out of our jobs, God out of our lives. That is not what it means. Separation of church and state is saying, hey, government, you cannot tell me who I can worship and what I can worship and how I worship. That's what separation of church and state is. The government does not have the legal right to tell anybody who or what or how to worship. That's what that is. Now, the funny thing, though, is you can go to any government and you can go to any agency out there or any school and everything, and you can talk about Buddha, you can talk about Muhammad, you can talk about Allah. There's this one thing called the New Age spirituality. Boy, I might have the tongue twisted. That is the religion now where the people think that they're God. Okay, I didn't know it was called that, but the New Age, and you can talk about all this. You can even talk about Satan, but you are not allowed to talk about Jesus or the Father, God. You can't talk about those two, but you can talk about any of them. So if they're talking about separation of church and state, why is it only the real faith? Why is it only Jesus they want out of the school? Because Jesus is the only way to save it. But you can talk about anything else. Now, if I was going to go by the same mindset as the people arguing separation of church and state, aren't they discriminating on religion? And isn't that illegal? A federal law? Just my opinion, but I just wanted to state it in. So, we as a nation here in the United States, we need to put aside. We got to put aside, and this will be hard for a lot of people. But if you start thinking it, and maybe hopefully when I go through some of this chart here, you will understand. We got to put aside left versus right. We have to put aside Democrats versus Republicans, black versus white, this race versus that race. We need to look way past that and see what is truly happening, because there's a lot happening out there and is being portrayed as local little activities right around us. Okay, but it's not that. What's going on right now is humankind. That's all around the world. Okay, I'm not just talking about U.S. citizens. It's all around the world. Humankind is being targeted by the elite. Remember those 3,311 billionaires and the 40 million millionaires? Yeah, those, the less than 1% of the entire world population, they're targeting the rest of the world. That's what's going on. Now, like I said, this has been going on for a long time, okay? In the 60s, I believe it was 60s, and somewhere in the 60s when it happened. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, JFK. Now, he knew that this was going on, and he was fighting against this. He was a true Democrat. However, he was different than what we see portrayed in the media today as the extreme Democrats, supposedly being the normal party. John Kennedy, he was for the people. Yeah, he had a more of a liberal view on maybe spending or something like that than the conservatives did, and less taxation on the people than the conservatives did. And that's been the main concept back and forth in the most recent history, is those type ideas. And it was never been a war between the two sides, really, other than some all that kind of stuff, which is why I'd never been into politics before. Thought it was stupid. Okay. But John Kennedy was actually fighting against and I know they're rich. I know they're rich, but they ain't up there with these elites, okay? And he was fighting against this for the good of the people of our country, fighting against what he called, if you go look up his speeches, the Great Reset. Have you not heard that today? Have you not heard that in speeches given by other country leaders around the world? The World Economic Forum and all that? The Great Reset. The Great Reset. This has been the agenda the whole time. What happened to JFK? He lost his life fighting against the elite and the Great Reset. Okay? So that was where he is. So we are still in the battle right now of what JFK was doing when he was here. And everybody knows JFK was a very great president. I wasn't alive, but he was, from everything that I've read, he was a great president. Everybody loved him. Was there even party differences back then? Because, man, he was all on the people's side. Now, today, though, if you don't agree with the agenda 100%, everything, if you're complaining about gas prices being too high, if you're complaining about the grocery bill that used to be $100 is now $210, if you're complaining about that, if you're complaining that you gotta you can't find a job, you're a deplorable. That term is not only for the Trump supporters when he was running against Hillary Clinton. Okay, you're a deplorable if you don't agree 100% with the agenda, and we'll get to that agenda here in a second. You and they are probably have me on a list. Okay, I don't care. But if you don't agree with what they're doing 100%, all of it, you're deplorable. You're a waste of space. You're wasting oxygen. You're expendable in the eyes of the elite and the one world system. And this is what is exactly happening then, and they're still trying to do it today. It's closer and closer and closer to the one world system. So, policy subjects, we're the subjects instead of being at the top, being that we're the goal, okay? So we're the subjects, and we're all the way at the bottom. We're the deplorables. We're the air wasting people, okay? They need to get rid of us. That's what they want to do. Let's go to the policy propagandists there. We're going to go up one. The policy propagandists here, MSM, fact checkers, social media, hybrid warriors, anti-hate campaigners, these are all propagandists. These are the ones that are spreading this BS out there saying, oh, the MAGA people, they're a danger to society. They're a danger to democracy. Again, if you don't agree 100% with what they're trying to do, you're a MAGA person. You're MAGA. How dare you? So the fact checkers, I've said this for a while. They're false. They're to guide you back to their agenda. But here's one thing. Things like PolitiFact, Full Fact, these are two of them. We see PolitiFact a lot through all social media and stuff like that. These are all owned by the billionaires being deployed by the social media gurus to take your attention away from the truth and guide you back to the agenda of what the elite are wanting to do. Okay? Anti-hate campaigners. Now, here's what's funny is all these things are worded in and the names of these things are things that seem like it would be cool. Like it'd be, hey, I could support that. Anti-hate, yeah, CCE, that's one of the anti-hate campaigners. The collaborative education system, okay? So they want to educate everybody the exact same way. That we need a one world government, we need a one world religion, and we need a one world monetary system. That's the education. That's education. They want everybody to be educated the exact same way. The CCDH, which is on there too. CCDH is the Center for Countering Digital Hate. That sounds cool. If you're perpetrating hate to a specific person or a specific race or whatever, if I mean, not opinion, like I say, I don't agree with this, that's not hate. But when you're attacking them verbally, digitally, all these keyboard warriors and everything, that's who they are. Now, what are they doing? They're taking everything and they're guiding it to the people that are against the agenda, and they're deleting and suppressing what they're saying, all under the guise of this is hate. This is hate. Some of that. This is probably the biggest and the longest going PSYOPs campaign on a military standard globally, worldwide, ever. This is psychological manipulation. That's exactly what the elite and what the world government wants you to think. And they are manipulating your mind to pull us over to think their way. So let's go to the enforcers, the one up from that. Now, these are your national governments: Washington, D.C., here in the United States, Parliament over in England, and stuff like all the governments around the world. Like I said, it goes all the way from in the United States, from POTUS all the way down to your local mayor and governor and stuff like that. All these are included. These are policy enforcers. The governor is there to enforce the policies of the state, and the state obviously has to abide certain parts by federal law, not all of them, because if it's unconstitutional, it doesn't have to be followed because it's illegal. But oh yeah, they want to do away with that piece of paper. Yeah. Okay. For the most part, these government leaders out there, you can see it in Chicago, you can see it in California, you can see it in New York, and tons of other places. There's very few, and you notice there's only very few that actually kick against the grain. DeSantis here in Florida, Abbott in Texas, which I don't really know about him a whole lot either, but there's a couple that go against the grain. And what is the media doing? Attacking them like rabid dogs. When in any other time, it would have been probably wouldn't even been a real story. These government officials, the POTUS down, Joe Biden down, they're puppets being manipulated by the puppet master when they pull the strings. Now, this was a known fact. I saw somebody, they were talking about this, and they actually interviewed White House employees years ago. I ain't talking about 2020 and 2016. Get that out of your mind, because that means you're too narrow-minded and you're thinking right now. You got to look at this as a whole wide picture. Years ago, decades ago, the federal government brought in those machines, not the ones that are being used today, because I'm pretty sure the machines got a wear and tear, and they had to replace them. Same stuff though. They brought in the machines not for elections, but for selection. They didn't care what votes were being cast. These machines would select the person that the elite wanted to be in. The government around the world, including us, have been corrupt for a few decades. Okay? Stop looking at Trump and Obama. I almost said Biden. Oh yeah, Obama. Yeah. Stop. He's one, two. Stop looking at Biden, Trump. Stop looking at this stuff. It's too now. It's too right now. They just got, thing about it is Trump called all this out. That's why he got all the flack. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So they brought in these machines because it's going to make elections a whole lot easier for everybody. We weren't electing crap. They were selecting who they wanted into office. They selected these people that were willing to do the dirty work for the puppet master, so that the puppet master could stay out of sight, out of mind. They didn't get involved in anything. So if somebody was being charged, they weren't being charged. Their name wasn't associated with crap. Still pulling the strings. All right. But you ain't got anything. Now, who are the puppet masters, you're asking me? Central bankers. These are the billionaires. These are the main ones that are pulling the strings. These actually team up with the scientific authorities, okay, such as the CDC, the FDA, the NIH. These are people that dealing with them. And what they do together is when in there, then they push it down to the media, and then the media pushes it out. And of course, the fact checkers, if you go against what they're saying in the media, automatically hide your post, puts a warning on your post, or they ban you from social media so you don't speak the truth. But they team up with these scientific authorities to help justify to keep control over the people and their actions. They want to control we the people. I mean, there's been other episodes out there, but the one that we know of real easy is this the COVID bullcrap. When they shut down, the economy, you had to stay home. They shut down the schools. We're after your best interest. We're after your best interest. How are they after our best interest when they keep taking away the stuff that could actually help? I don't know. Yeah, we'll get into some of that too, but that's what they do is the bankers, the Rockefellers and things like that, people like that, they team up with these scientists, gurus, the experts, and to follow the science, they said we got to do it because we're going to help you. It's going to make you safe. It no longer became to make us great. Now it's to make us safe. Okay. So those are policy enforcers here. They're working from the distributors, the policy distributors. These are the ones who are pushing the things out. Now, the UN, United Nations. What you think you know about the UN is a lie. Okay. If you think the UN is here to make the entire world a peaceful and a loving place to where we can hold hands together around a campfire and saying kumbaya, my love, that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. But that's what they teach. They're here for the safety of the world. That is not what the UN is here for. I cannot stand the UN. They don't like us either. Trust me. In Somalia, they shot right through our position, shooting weapons through our position as Marine artillery sitting in Somalia. I was shooting at a bird. Ain't no damn birds in Somalia. Not right where we were at. Hate the UN. They don't like us. And their mission is not to provide peace in the world. It is not. Globalism is the agenda, okay? Globalism was financed by the man who actually financed the UN. Rockefeller, Kissinger, and Brzezinski. Those are three of the ones that financed the UN, created the UN, and they want a global world economy. They want a global world government. If you think again, the UN is out there for your safety, you're sorely mistaken. Sorely, sorely mistaken. Now, one thing about it is they want this global economy in this world, and they're easing into it because ain't no way that we would stand up if they just said, "Bam, this is what we're gonna do." Ain't no way. My generation and the generation before me would have said, "Okay, we're gonna lose all our freedom." There is no way. Okay, the UN is easing into this world military power. Now, IMF, the second one there. This is the International Monetary Fund. Every country in the world who owes money and has a deficit and a debt that they can never ever repay. United States, $30 trillion, $100 billion a month is what we'd have to pay off our debt in like 72 years. $100 billion a month. We can't do it. We're never going to get out of debt. So we're slaves to the IMF. There's a bunch of other countries out there too. Don't think it's just us. The IMF is here to promote the global economic growth of the world and to reduce global poverty. They want to reduce global poverty. My behind. Okay. Now I did some research into the IMF, and they got like 190 countries involved in this. They're based in Washington D.C. Woo, imagine that, huh? And they use these things called SDRs, special drawing rights, which is it's on an international type of monetary reserve currency. So they already have an international monetary reserve. They already got it. We just ain't able. They ain't able to implement it yet. Why do you think inflation is creeping up? Creeping up. Why do you think other countries are experiencing the same thing? It's the agenda. This ain't got nothing to do with left and right today in 2022. This has been going on for 30 or 40 more years, okay? So get that out of your mind if you get on here and you're watching this on another time, that this is about today's political party. Now it's opening your eyes to some other things that are out there that's been going on. And if you're less than 50 years old, it's been going on way before you were born, okay? The IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Yeah. This works with the Club of Rome and everything. Basically, they have concluded that obviously we have a climate change, we have a climate disaster going on, and the cause of the climate issue is humankind. Me and you. We're the problem. We're the cause of the problem. How do we correct the problem? Get rid of humans. The majority of them. That's exactly what they're going for. They want to get rid of lots and lots of people. By the way, climate is a cyclical event. Cyclical. It just happens. That's how God intended it. But to let you know here why it's not just now, even Hitler used climate change and typhus. Imagine that. Climate change still going on today. Typhus, a disease. We just had COVID disease to control the population. So it's already been tried. And we see what happened with Hitler. I mean, he killed a lot of people. But now there's more people on board and more people wanting this to happen. We have to stand up as we the people globally and say, no, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Okay. And I ain't talking about a civil war here in the United States. I'm talking about the world against the world organization. Okay. They're the ones that are doing this. And then you go over here, the WHO, World Health Organization. They're the ones who control the FDA, the CDC, and it all comes from the WHO. All they want to do is control your behavior. They want to make you scared of each other. They want to make us scared of each other. I mean, look at all that happened during COVID. Remember, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Remember that? That was nothing more than to create spite and hate between people and have people go against each other. How many fights did we see on people out there in the malls and on the airplanes and everything? Somebody had their camera and they showed fights and for somebody not choosing not to wear a mask because the person wearing the mask was so absolutely terrified of living or dying that they wanted 22 masks on their face. But the one person figured out that this is a crock of crap and they didn't want a mask because they wanted to breathe normally, and fights happened out. The WHO went purposefully straight out and wanted all of us to collide and clash with each other. Where did COVID come from? I'm going to still say Wuhan, but I got some other ideas on that one. But anyway, yeah, it's a disease. It's a man-made disease. It will never go away. We need to do away with masks. The population worldwide is adapting to the COVID. They're still going to have people who catch it. We're still going to have people who die. That's a part of nature, just like it has been with the flu, just like it has been with smallpox in the past. I guess it's going to be like the monkeypox now. People start dying with that. But it's a part of nature. It's going to happen. And it's because mankind wanted to play with nature. And anything that mankind tries to touch always turns to crap. Try not to cuss. So they did all this stuff. And all of a sudden, it got out of. Did it get out of control? Or was it released on the world? That's the question you have to decide in your mind. But Hitler used the same thing, climate change and typhus. Already out there. It's already been done. And Hitler wanted the white, blonde hair, blue eyed supreme race. That was his thing. What is the elite looking for? You think it's the common everyday individual out here going to work, busting their butt to take care of their family and have a good work ethic and stuff like that, innocent and honest? Probably not. They probably don't want you. They want the one that wants to be shady and backstab everybody to be part of their thing. I don't know. I just don't think they want the honest individual that would comprise probably about 90% of the population of the world. People, there are good people everywhere out there. We all look at everybody now because of the media, because of the crap that's going on in the world, because of our government. We look at everybody like they got to be bad. They got to be bad. They got to be bad. I'm guilty. I will say, I sat down in a restaurant the other day. I'm going, I wonder how many people in here are Democrats. It's not, that's not the issue. I got a CT tech at work. She's Democrat. She's been Democrat all her life. Her and I get along perfect. We don't see eye to eye on everything. However, we're talking, and I will come up with a question, and then she'll go, well, how are they doing that? I looked at her one day and said, you're not a Democrat. It's probably more closer to the midline Democrat. About like the JFK, okay? And like I said, he was an awesome president. He was for the people. So Democrats and Republicans have to get away from this stuff. We're allowing the far, far extreme left and the far, far extreme rhino right to control everything that's going on. And neither one of those have a clue of what everybody needs to be doing. MAGA is not far, far right. A MAGA person is a person. Doesn't matter your affiliation with left or right. It's a person who wants our country, the United States of America, back again. That's all MAGA is. And we are not accepting this bullcrap that's coming from the puppet masters. Okay. So that's the who. They want to work on separating us and being scared of each other. And you see it all the time. Somebody with a mask go 900 yards just to not come by you. Philanthropist. That's a good word. Now, you probably these are non-government entities, okay? These are not part of the federal government or England's government or China's government or anybody's government. They're private entities. You know, the Bill Gates Foundation. That's because Bill Gates has been in the news lately. Everybody probably heard about that one. But a lot of these you might not even realize are part of this group. The Human Rights Campaign. Wow. Who doesn't want to support the Human Rights Campaign? The Southern Poverty Law Center. Who doesn't want to support a organization that's trying to lift people out of poverty? The ACLU. The ADL. This is a new one for me. Anti-Defamation League. Well, if the ADL was really concerned about defaming other people's character, they should be all knee deep in everything that's going on with the Mar-a-Lago thing, with this New York charge against Trump. All that. They should be knee deep because the media is saying stuff that ain't even being ain't proven. They're just dragging people's names. In this instance, it's Trump, but they're dragging people's names through the mud. So this Anti-Defamation League should be knee deep in trying to stop the defamation that's going on. Where are they at? I hear crickets. I hear crickets. These are all part of the policy distributors. They push out the policy onto the policy enforcers. So it's like that's the government, and the enforcers, which is the government, they're the ones who make us try to abide by that. If you don't abide by it, remember, You're deplorable. You're a MAGA. You're worthless. You shouldn't be breathing oxygen, according to the elite. Now, these groups that I just named to you, the ACLU, the ADL, the Human Rights Campaign, they only have, these are, like I said, these are non-government organizations. They are not part of the federal government, but they only got one mission. Their only mission is to serve their master. The ones who are trying to take control of our country and the rest of the world. They're trying to take control. Now, there are actually 5 people, I'm not going to go over all 5 of them, that are more powerful. A lot of people have the speculation of who's running the show here. Obviously, it ain't Dementia Joe, but everybody's looking at Obama. There's people out there way more powerful than Joe Obama. Okay? The one that I want to bring attention to really is Larry Fink. See, I'm name dropping. If I ain't here in a week, y'all know why. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. Now, what is BlackRock? Is like all kind of business. The purpose though is to run our economy into the ground for his and that company's benefit, and he is one of very, 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 very few people that can actually do business at this current moment with communist China, with the CCP. One of the very few. And he is knee deep, need a snorkel because he is so deep he can't see past the poop. And he is one of the ones that's pushing all of this world economic stuff. This Ukraine deal going on, the Russia is trying to overthrow Ukraine and everything. I called this when it first started. I was like, oh, this is a bunch of BS right here. Too many videos out there showing nothing going on and this, that, and the other. Not like a war would be, an active war. Ukraine is a ploy by these elitists up there to establish more dominantly the one world order, or what we have come to know it as being called the liberal world order. Now, in that name, they're trying to take away the biblical power of a one world government, a one world religion, a one world economic system. Because through the Bible, one world, people realize what that's being talked about. So they named it the liberal world order, because liberalism is accepting of everybody and accepting of all things and accepting of anything that we want to add. That's liberalism at its biggest, broadest scope. Okay, that's their accepting, which sounds good, right? We should accept people for who they are, not for the activity. Well, would you have dinner with a murder rapist of a child because you're accepting of him and what he does? I don't think so. So you can't be accepting of everything all the time. You just can't. It's impossible. But they want to bring in the liberal world order because that name softens the blow of a one world government. That's what it does. Liberal world order softens the blow. And did y'all know? Anybody out there with this blue and yellow support Ukraine flag and all that kind of stuff, y'all need to take that shit down. Do you know Zelensky actually went to these puppet master people and offered the country of Ukraine in order to establish more solidly the liberal world order, the one world government. He offered his country. That's what all this stuff is going on. This is designed, everybody. This is designed. And as a one world United Nations community, we're going to actually fix Ukraine and rebuild it. And since the United States and Joe Biden up there wanted to put us back in, your tax dollars are going to fix a country that the elitists said, hey, let's blow the shit out of it and let's go ahead and act like it's Russia's fault and let's get Russia people to do certain things back. Is it Russia? We don't know. Is Russia in on it? We don't know. But Zelensky has went and said, you can have my country. And when it's destroyed, your tax dollars from going to work every day are going to help build it back and be part of the liberal world order, the new world order, the one world government. That's what they're trying to do. So your tax dollars are being spent to fix something that they on purposely destroyed. Way to go. Here's the problem, though. We've probably given over $1 trillion already. That should kick you in the butt right there. Again, it goes way beyond Joe Biden. Joe Biden is just a puppet. He's the cameraman. He ain't very good at one of those either, but still. So that part, the policy distributors down, that makes up the global public-private partnership. The World Economic Forum. Now we're talking about the policy makers. Okay, these are the puppet masters. The World Economic Forum. They brag about this, everything right here that I just went over. They brag about it all the time. But every American, every person, moreover, all around the world, honest, wanting to live their life, as things have always been, without control of a one centralized government, this should scare the crap out of you. Do your own research, okay? Do your own research. But you should be horrified. And who is actually backing all this up? The Central Banking Corporation. They're going to control everything. Klaus Schwab, Larry Fink, part of the World Economic Forum, they're leading this charge, okay? And did y'all hear the other day? Might not just been the other day, but just recently, American Express and Visa, they're actually going to start placing, if you use their cards to buy any type of ammo or any type of firearm, those are in a special category, okay? Why? Because those policymakers are scared of people with guns. Why do you think they're attacking guns so much? Some people will stand up for what they have and their family and everything. They'll stand up for their family, their friends, their loved ones, and fight back. You think Klaus Schwab knows how to shoot a gun? Oh, fat boy, whatever. But so you go out and buy shotgun shells. It's ammo. You could be hunting deer, be hunting whatever, turkey. It's put into a special classification, and that's triggering people to watch you. That should piss you off right there, whether you buy weapons or not. How much privacy are we losing? And a lot of us don't even know about it. By the way, I believe that's unconstitutional. Oh yeah, they want to do away with that piece of paper. They don't care about it. So the puppet masters. I said I was going to get to the puppet masters. The first one is the central banks, the Rothschilds, the Rothschild banks, and the vassal states. The first vassal state is the Vatican. The second vassal state is in DC. And if you read the book of Revelation, actually do any study on it, the one world leader, the Antichrist, and the one world government and religion will come up somewhere out of Rome, because it's the only geographical location on the entire planet that matches what the Bible says. And the Bible is historically 100% accurate on everything that's happened. So it will be accurate on them. The Vatican, DC, World Economic Forum, the UN, trying to pull everybody in together as one unit. So The Rothschilds and the banks, the central banks and everything, they're the first group of puppet masters, but the main puppet master is that top one called BIS, Bank for International Settlement. This might piss some people off you if you lost a lot of money back in 2008. Um, so the BIS, Bank for International Settlements, in 2008, and this will be hard one to go dig up too because they don't want anybody to know about this. They orchestrated the collapse of our financial system and called it the real estate bust. It wasn't just real estate; a lot of stuff just bam. And I've actually talked to people who during during 2008, the bank said, "Too bad, so sad. We don't have your money. Just the money's gone. Just gone. Just gone." This was the largest transfer of wealth ever. Pretty much all the money of the middle and lower class was transferred to the people in the central banks, the Rockefellers and all them. It was transferred to them. They got your money. So if you lost a lot in 2008, 2009, be pissed off. They got you. It's been going on for a while. Now, when all that money was transferred and lost, and people were killing themselves because they lost everything. Population reduction. Why? Because climate change is a danger. And who's causing the danger? People. Let's get rid of people. Mr. Barack Obama, call you out, you punk. He come in and said, that's the way to go because we're not going to prosecute anybody. We're not going to investigate anybody. We're not going to charge anybody. We're not going to do anything. We don't care. Don't care. Then in 2010, some documents surfaced about all the organizations. They were refocusing, they want to call it, refocusing on the new future landscape. Financial and technology wise, we're going to look to the future, how we're going to change. All the documents that came out when all these documents started coming out say pretty much the same thing. You ready for the shocker now? I'm going to shock you. You ready? All right. Your heart's beating here. The Build Back Better plan. 2010. Right after the real estate crash. Right after the world's largest grand theft of cash and transferred to somebody ever in history. They're thinking the Build Back Better plan. You think Biden came up with that? That is a puppet with wooden legs, I'm telling you. This is the globalist takeover, and they are implementing very slowly the oncome of socialism and communism. It's ushered in under the guise of, we want to help you. We want to help everybody. We want to help you. Stay in your house. Don't go to work. We'll give you money, even though we can't got any. We're going to pay your bills for you. They can't kick you out of your apartment. They can't kick you out. They got to give you, here's some food. Here's some cheese and some bread. You're okay with that. It's better than nothing because we're here to help you. And they control you. It's the completely opposite. They're destroying you. They're destroying me, or they're trying to destroy us. They're trying to destroy the world, the common people, and everything. Biden's Build Back Better plan is just a resurfacing of the term. It's been going on for a while. The more that the Build Back Better plan actually takes its course, whichever way it's going to go, you ever sit there and just wonder, why is everything, no matter what they do, why does it always kick us in the butt? Yeah, gas prices have went down a little bit. And this is when I saw an economist a little bit ago complaining about it. You keep saying it's up. No, it's come down $1.30. It's still up $1.70 than what it used to be. Okay. So it's still up. We still have the highest inflation in over 40 years. Gas prices are still an issue with the population. Food prices are a big issue with the population. What happened to the good old days? Back when my dad and my grandfather and my great grandfather stood up and said, "You are not coming into this country." The politicians cared about the country. I guess they all got bought out now. That's what's wrong with the country. You ever ask yourself also, you start seeing the Cuban Americans, Venezuelan Americans, they are very unhappy with what's going on, and they came to the United States legally and illegally. We'll say both. They wanted to leave where they were at, but they came here to get away from socialism and communism because they know that that crap sucks, and a constitutional republic is a way to be. The freedoms that you enjoy, that you can go out and you can work for a living and provide for yourself. The more you do, the more you get. Don't say that ain't true. If you say that's not true, you're brainwashed already. There's probably no hope. The more you do, the more you get. I'm not saying you're going to be a millionaire, but the more you do, the more you get. And these people are mad, are going, why are you turning to what we left? The people who know what socialism is all about and what communism is all about, they're the ones that can see that the administration and the policies that are being handed down from the puppet masters is a socialist communistic transfer. That's what's going on. And here's the bad part about it is they word it with all these pretty words: liberal world order, build back better. And millions are going, this is perfect. Oh, Joe Biden is the best president ever. Joe Biden is not a president. Joe Biden is a puppet. Obama is a puppet. This is coming from way up. And why? Why? It's been 2 years now. Why is the only thing that the left media, the media is more of this than the actual people, media and the politicians, the bulk puppets up there? Why do they tirelessly pursue Donald Trump? Why they go to sleep and dream Trump, okay? Nasty perverts. But they go to sleep and they dream Trump. Is it because Trump had mean tweets while he was in? No. Is it because Trump had an orange skin color? Which actually, that has come to find out that it was actually the media and the cameras were putting that type of a lens on it so they can make fun of him. He doesn't have orange skin like was portrayed. But no, that ain't why. Is it because his hair blows really weird in the wind? No, that's not why either. The puppet masters up there in the BIS and the central banks and the WHO and the UN and the World Economic Forum, all those, Klaus Schwab and everybody, they're after Trump because Trump exposed them. And then they had to turn it and get it where all these people would, oh, we can't have Trump anymore. Oh, Trump's an evil person. They had to do that. Trump exposed what was going on. And they can't handle that. They cannot handle that at all. They don't want to be exposed. In fact, like I said, if I ain't here in a week, you know why. So when Trump started saying this stuff, if you go back and watch some of Trump's speeches, you can see where he took us out of the World Economic Forum. He took us out of all these stupid things that we were spending tons and tons of money on that we didn't need to be in. Okay, but he took us out of all that stuff. Now we're back in it all. Stupid. But the puppet masters want us back in there. So all the hype is directed by those at the top. And the decades and decades of indoctrination and brainwashing has made it an easy mission to have people believe that Trump done something wrong. It's been an indoctrination for like 30 or 40 years. Okay. Indoctrinations don't work on everybody, but if over and over and over again, you build a larger brainwashed group that will believe anything that you say. Why do you think so many people sit out there and think CNN is the absolute gospel? Because of the indoctrination before even CNN came into play. And all the media started pushing all this negativity and lies and bogus reports about Trump. And then the media got a hold of it. And what was said was blast this out. When you have 50 different channels saying, quote, the same words, it's scripted, people. It's scripted. It's a ploy. It's designed. Okay. And if you ask anybody, what has Biden done that's good? This is the indoctrination and the brainwashing that's going on in the past 5 years, because they were doing it while Trump was in office. They cannot respond to anything that Biden has done is actually a positive for the country. Their always response is either Trump did it, Trump's administration caused it, Trump's administration couldn't fix it from the administration before, but then they're going and they're talking about it's always pushed onto somebody else. They're indoctrinated, they're brainwashed, and it's Trump, 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 Trump bad. Trump, 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 Trump bad. And that's all they can think. That's like they can't even form a complete sentence anymore. Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump might as well be robots. Again, it's not Joe Biden and his direct administration that are calling the shots. It's the puppet masters. It's way up top. It's way up top. So this is not red versus blue, left versus right, black versus white, red versus yellow. It's not any of that. This is we, the people of the world, versus the elite. There's much more of us. That's for sure. Now, the MAGA movement, they are targeting the MAGA movement because the MAGA movement is dangerous to the elite and to the agenda. Like I said earlier, MAGA people are only people who want America back. We want it the way it was. Liberal or conservative, it doesn't matter what side of the line you fall on. If you want America great, you want us to be the power that everybody looks to for decision making, that we are an economic force in the world, that we are a military force in the world, we can protect people in the world, an America that we've always been in the past. If you want that, you're a MAGA person, and you are a danger to the puppet masters. The agenda is their ultimate goal. Their agenda is to control you. And I've never have I heard, when is it a bad thing to be a patriot? A true patriot, somebody who loves the country that they live in. When has it ever been a bad thing? It is now, because the patriots don't want a one world order, a one world economic system, and a one world religion. We don't want that. Now we're a danger to the agenda. We're deplorable. You're deplorable. You're trash. You're a racist. You're a bigot. You want America back. And that makes you a danger to society. That makes you a danger to the agenda. That makes you a danger to the puppet masters. That puts a thorn in their side to where they have to eliminate you, me, our type of people. Again, it's not red, it's not blue. Are you willing to bow down to a man and let him control everything in the world? Or do you want your freedoms? Because trust me, if they take over, and which they will. This is going to happen. I just don't know when. But the agenda is trying to do it now. They keep saying 2030, 2032, and you start hearing these dates. Is that when they want to actually be rocking and rolling with a one world government? I don't know. But it will happen because it's written. And like I said, historically, the Bible is 100% accurate. It's the absolute truth. And it says it's going to happen. So either pick up your spine and be willing to stand for what you believe in. We might be able to postpone it a little bit and fight for what's right. Fight for what's fair. The one thing that here's where they trick everybody too, is they want a global equity. Okay? That sounds good. They want everybody to have the same thing, the same outcome. That's ridiculous, by the way. How can, if you go to school and you drop out in 10th grade, but you work at McDonald's, and God, they're paying $10, $15 an hour now, so you're making some pretty good money, except the inflation's eating all that away. But you're making $10 or $15 an hour, and you work your way up to the manager, and why should that person make the same thing? Equity in the end is what they want. Everybody's got the same thing as a brain surgeon. Shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen. If you want to make the money and have the clout that a brain surgeon has, go to school, become a brain surgeon. He had to pay for that. Well, now they're trying to get rid of that too, but the ones that were there before, they paid for it. So this equity thing that they keep talking about, and that all these groups out there, BLM, that's a group. It's an activist group. It's not out there for anybody's protection, okay? Antifa, they're against all forms of government. We do need some leadership because, like I said, we all have to go to work. So we need some type of leadership. All these people out there that are going, we're for equity, equal in the end. If you want that, we're all going to have nothing, and then we're all equal in the end. That's what they're pushing for. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to have a house. They don't not own it. Land, car, nothing. It belongs to the state. And when I say state, I don't mean the state that you live in. I mean the one world order. That's what but you have nothing. That means I have nothing. That means Bobby down the road has nothing, and Sarah down the road has nothing. So we're all equity equal. That's what they want. And all you dummies out there that are going, we should all have this equality and equity. You're out your mind. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't hear something and then go research it and see what they're saying. We are all equal in the pursuit of success. You can choose to go to school, or you can choose to do dope. You can choose to go to school, or you can choose to drop out from school. It's your choice. Free will, God gave it to you. But it's your choice that you made. You reap the rewards. You choose to do nothing, you probably get nothing. You choose to do a lot, you probably will get a lot. Equity is not the way to be. Equality is. Because everybody has the same opportunity. And anybody out there who's saying, no, we don't, you can't do this here, you're full of crap. It's because you're drawn in by this brainwashing scheme that the puppet masters are doing, and that's why we're being pulled apart as a country, and we can't stand united and fight back. That's why. That's why. Because you're letting yourself be brainwashed. But it's not your fault. It's been going on for decades. Your parents probably got it, and they taught what they thought they were being taught right. They taught it to you too. It's crazy. Do your own research, though. Things that you hear, go out there and look for it. The Global Public-Private Partnership. Check it out. Go look for it. You will be surprised. You will be amazed. You will be pissed off. And that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this. Share this out. Push it out. Let's break Facebook, because this Everybody needs to know. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, nothing, whatever. Push it out there, please, and let people know. And that way, everybody has a chance to go do their own research. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all next time.